So you want to be an entrepreneur. This video is about being an entrepreneur, the good, the bad, and some things you guys need to know about being an entrepreneur, being a successful entrepreneur, and the challenges that you're going to face, not only in the workforce, but also mentally, physically, emotionally, and with your family. So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and cover what it's like to be an entrepreneur from the various aspects of every day to the mental toughness necessary to keep going, as well as be successful. Before I get into this video, I always remind you guys to hit the like button, show some support for the channel. I truly appreciate it. And subscribe if you have not done so already. Turn on the notification bell if you haven't done that as well, so you get an update for my next video. Let's get into this and let's see what being an entrepreneur is really all about. Entrepreneurism. Everybody wants to work for themselves. Ever since you work for someone else that you didn't like, or potentially always wanted to start your own business, everybody dreams of being an entrepreneur, making more money, having their own business, hiring, and being successful at it. Whether it's in the tech industry, the film industry, YouTube, podcasting, etc. People nowadays are trying to do things for themselves and trying to become someone successful. In fact, they are proud to say that they work for themselves, or that they have a t-shirt company, they've launched a clothing brand, etc. It makes them proud. Yes, there is a very good sense of hype being an entrepreneur. There's a lot of potential, but there's also a lot of risk and downfall. And a lot of people on YouTube talk about being an entrepreneur as this great success story or something very positive, successful, achievable if you just work hard. But what they don't cover is the many aspects of the mental toughness that you have to have. As entrepreneurs, we don't measure time. We actually measure tasks and things that are supposed to get done on time. We meet deadline to deadline. We go meeting to meeting, lunch to lunch, and we constantly work, putting in more than 12 hours a day, oftentimes. Your first sale could be your last sale, and that's something that entrepreneurs have to consistently understand, because anything can happen at any point. And that is something employees generally don't understand. General employees clock in at 8 and clock out at 5, and their day is done. They get to go home and possibly not think about work as much as they have to. Certainly their only concerns are potentially being fired, laid off, or getting a bad review at the end of the year, etc., which affects their bonus. With entrepreneurs, you're constantly on. You're always on the clock answering your phone. You're paying those bills that haven't been paid. You're sorting, you're filing, you're looking for replacement hires. There are so many aspects of it that you are always on. Even on vacation, people tend to work all the time because their business is constantly in need of a response. And until you train a proper person to take over what you have been doing as a business owner, you're always going to be involved. So being an entrepreneur is addicting because it gives you that status label of CEO or business owner or someone that's in a higher position, and people tend to crave that. But we're going to go into what it means to be as an entrepreneur mentally. Entrepreneurship and mental health is rarely talked about. In fact, with a recent study, 45% of entrepreneurs claim to be stressed out compared to just 42% of employees. Now, that does not sound like a big difference. However, as we dig deeper into that, we will see that there is a big difference in this regard. Entrepreneurs also report 34% being more worried in comparison to 30% versus employees all the time. So entrepreneurs are not only stressed out, but are worried because their day-to-days can be very high highs and very low lows. They're the ones dealing with paying all these bills and employees. And if you're not ready for that, you are going to be stressed out and worried all the time. And a lot of people don't discuss that about being an entrepreneur. So before you start your business, you really need to consider that fact of mental preparedness to go into something like this and start your own company. So entrepreneurs have a much higher chance of having mental health issues than an individual, or because of family related issues. In general, entrepreneurs in the general population are more likely to experience depression, which is 30% compared to 15%. Addiction is really big. Entrepreneurs with all the stress are 12% likely to be addicted to something versus about 5 to 6% of the population. and they are likely to develop or have bipolar disorder, which is 11%, again, going into depression and everything like that. Now, I'm not trying to discourage you guys from starting your own business, but I think on this entrepreneur channel, this is a very good topic to cover, because all of these entrepreneur videos are about driving Ferraris and having the new iPhone, having the big house, and having this lifestyle that people think comes with an entrepreneur background, when in fact there's a lot of things that an entrepreneur deals with daily that we don't get to see. And because everything is always amplified and fluffed on social media, hyped up on Instagram, where people are so happy and thrilled and willing to take that next step, and you see these people on Shark Tank really excited to get this bid, most entrepreneurs are actually battling not only themselves but the everyday things that they have to do, and at the same time their mental health is possibly at jeopardy more than the average person. So if you're not mentally tough, I would not start a business. If you are mentally tough, prepare to be challenged in this space. It's not always peaches and cream when you're doing business, but you have to be physically, mentally tough to continue business and keep moving forward. Now check out my life blueprint video. It kind of gives you an idea of how you would feel bad or good about something based on the fact of how you lay out your life map. On top of being an entrepreneur, when you're down, not many people help out. There's rarely friends or family that come through to really hold you up. In fact, as an entrepreneur, you learn that you are the only one at the end of the day before the doors close that's going to be there for your company. When things are great, it seems like you are in utopia. The world is great. You're able to afford what you want. Your Friday just got that much better. Your Saturday got that much better. The Sunday is great. You can't wait for Monday. If coin flips and you're having a bad time, you dread Monday. You don't want to go in. You don't want to answer employees. You don't want to do anything.
I gotta get out of here. I think I'm gonna lose it.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
So entrepreneurism could take you to such a high, or it could take you to such a low that you can be broken in any part of it. And here's the bad part. On the high, you create enemies because people are jealous. Your friends may be jealous. They may be not as happy for you as you are. Your employees start thinking that you're making all this money. They're the ones working. And it's true, you can't build a big business without great teams. But at the same time, people start having resentment towards you. And it almost feels like it's a lose-lose situation. Whether you're riding high and people want to bring you back down, or you're riding low and no one wants to be your friend, no one's helping you out, and you could barely pay rent because you put all your life investment into it, your time, your money, blood, sweat, and tears into becoming an entrepreneur in any business that you have. Entrepreneurs are also limited by what the government allows them to do. So in recent times, the government has shut down restaurants, gyms, facilities, and all of these things are out of your control. There were people that worked so hard for what they do, and they were not able to do anything with their business because simply of a mandate that was set by the state or the government that prohibited you from having a business. So my advice for becoming an entrepreneur: it's a great thing. I mean, the journey is worth it. The people you meet and hire, the highs that you can have, the money that you can make, there's a lot of potential in it, no doubt. This channel is about entrepreneurism and how you could get better in what you do. However, do understand that becoming an entrepreneur means that you're going to be grinding out day and night. You're going to be losing money. You're going to be gaining money. You might lose again. There's a very probable chance, or a very high chance, that you're going to go broke at one point, or have a problem, or be in a lawsuit, or need insurance, or need things that you would not expect in creating a business. It's very easy to sell a couple products here and there, flea market style, and think that you got a business going on, or hustle, 100 t-shirts out of the back of your cars, or CDs, or resell tickets and so forth. But when you become official, when you get a business license, when you get employees, when you start paying rent, and when things become realistic, you got phone bills, insurances, etc., you are going to start getting pressured, and the profit that you were used to making before gets squeezed lower and lower and lower, and that's when it becomes stressful. So that's where the entrepreneur stress comes in. Unless you're this company that's funded by another company, you're playing with your own money. You lose your own money, you're screwed. What do you go do? How do you get back from taking X amount of time off from the workforce to try your own company and then get back in the workforce and try to explain that when you're about to get hired? It's difficult. So make sure that if you do take the step in becoming an entrepreneur, you understand that mentally you need to be tough. I did a mindset video on how to be successful, how to be tough in any given situation, no matter what it may be in life. And that video should help you out and get you prepped for becoming an entrepreneur if you ever choose to do so, or in any situation where you're going to be mentally tested. And all of us are at one point going to be mentally tested whether or not we start a business. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to show that entrepreneur life is not this yacht and boat life that you see Jeff Bezos doing. There is that possibility, but very likely for the common entrepreneur, you're going to go through a struggle. It's almost an endurance test. And those that can swim through this triathlon of business practices, run, swim, etc., are going to make it, and those that are weaker are not, and it's going to destroy them. So I hope that's not you, and I hope you enjoyed this video with brutal honesty about entrepreneurism. Comment below if you experienced any of these things trying to start your own business, or even had these things in your job as an employee. I'll reply. I appreciate you watching. Please show some love, hit the like button for me, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you guys here in the next video.